Hello my friends. If you clicked on this video, you probably know two things. Dark Souls is hard, and the camera is pretty much everything in this game. So how the hell could somebody beat it without using the right analog stick when I can't even see these fuckers coming? Well, somehow I keep making the worst decisions possible, because today, that's exactly what I'd like to show you. Rather than limiting myself to a certain weapon or spell, I'm gonna beat Dark Souls without using a whole body part. Would I be able to finish the game if I can't even move my neck? So no, I'm not gonna touch the mouse. I'm not gonna touch the right analog stick either. In fact, I decided to unbind the button entirely. You see, not being able to keep an eye on enemies in Dark Souls is a quick way to get your ass kicked, as the game expects you to do something, leaving it mostly up to you as to whether you get wrecked or not. But that's only if you can see it coming. Now, if the game adjusts my camera, that's fair game, as I can't control it anyway. And fortunately, the camera does rotate slowly as I walk around, letting me get around areas mostly unhindered. But it really doesn't help with the faster bosses in the game. Yeah. And since I did unbind the camera, there's no target lock either. So if I end up using spells, that might be interesting. Yeah, I clearly have too much free time on my hands, so if you enjoy watching the video, or simply like me, please consider subscribing so I can keep torturing myself with these runs. With that, let the chaos begin. Hey there, me No Nick here, cousin to nearly headless Nick from another series with dragons in it. Nick here is going to start the run as our noob easy starting class, so I have a way to tank my way through the early parts of the game because I'm dumb and doing a stupid challenge run, and that class is Knight. And while I did just make fun of the Knight, if I'm being honest, it carries for a good chunk of the game due to its armor. I also grabbed the Master Key because, well, it is the best starting item. Anyways, with a quick jog through the area, I collect my things, learn how much of a lore nerd Oscar is, and with a short drop and sudden stop into his forehead, make short work of the Silent Demon, and move out of the tutorial and into the rest of the game. Now, despite being the first area where we can actually go do things, if I'm being honest, there isn't much setup for us to do. So I head into Undeadburg and collect a few items that aren't too far off track, clear through the area, and rather embarrassingly can't even kill a lizard. And then I get mercilessly pummeled by this fucker, while I do my best impersonation of a pincushion. So I run back and try again, this time taking the time to clear out the meth heads above, and after Taurus Demon takes to the face a few times like a champ, I speak with Super Sun Man Solaire, and how are you not blind there, bud? As I walk across the bridge, I find out that I make for some decent chicharrones. But after successfully making it across this time, I pick up the claymore, and all I'm doing with these souls is pumping them straight into the health pool. Not that it helps much, as first I get pummeled by a boar, and then I get offed by a group of angry boomers off screen. Oh well, at least I can run for it and make it to the next bonfire. Excuse me, sir. Now, this is where things get fun, because I now have a choice to make. I can either proceed up to the first bell and attempt the gargoyles now, or I can level up a little. And wouldn't you know it, there's this incredibly sweet guy who isn't shady at all that can help us out. And all he wants in return is help with his fall travel plans. See you later, bud. And so with the ring of fapping in hand, I decide to travel down to Blighttown for the whip, which I thought would be a decent weapon since it wouldn't bounce off walls and has a decent area attack. But turns out I'm a fucking idiot, because that's only a thing in Dark Souls 3. Oh well. So instead, I head back to Andre's on the way back to the gargoyles to pick up some upgrades, and along the way, RNGesus must have taken pity on me and blesses me with a little bit of luck, gifting me the Black Knight halberd drop from the Black Knight. So, being a real Souls player, I can't pass it up, and in need of some easy souls to wield it, I head down to the catacombs to see my old pal, Pinwheel. Don't mind me, sir, just passing through. Hello, sir. Hello. Excuse me. Please, God, no. Oh, hey, Penny. How's the family? Closer than ever, I see. Well, I can't stay long, so don't mind me, just passing through. Thank you, sir. Or is it ma'am? I'm really confused on the lore on that one. Unfortunately, I still don't have enough to wield the halberd, so I head back to Andre's for a few more upgrades with the souls I have left over, and then ring the first bell. Oh, you want to see the gargoyle fight? Well, to cut to the chase, we just kinda... and move on. For now, I keep dumping souls into damage, because the more damage I do, the less bosses can do to me. Crazy, right? And the claymore packs more than enough of a punch to take out the moonlight butterfly with ease. Honestly, I had more trouble getting the camera to flip every time it jumped over the bridge. Next, I head through Lower Undead Bird with a few scrapes and arrive at its boss, where I swiftly put myself in timeout in this corner, swinging wildly at Capra and his mutts until his bulging biceps pushed me off. Fortunately, I was able to remove both dogs from the equation before getting dropped down. I let Capra find out about ghost hitboxes and disrespect a few walls along the way just for good measure. Lovely stuff. With the key to the depths obtained, I can now enter the depths. Yeah. Anyways, I work my way through the area, taking out some low-level targets along the way, free Laurentius, and I finally have enough strength to be able to wield the Black Knight halberd. Which is nice, because next up is the gaping vagina... Dragon. I said dragon. After cutting off his tail for the Dragon King Great Axe and putting the big boy to rest, it's time for me to try my best in the cesspool that is Blighttown. As I slowly make my way through the scaffolding creation that would implode OSHA, I quickly begin to realize just how many years of my life I've wasted as I surprisingly breeze my way down to safety. I then narrowly avoid becoming somebody's lunch, and then it's time to be questionably aroused by a spider. And thanks to the camera, get cockblocked just as quickly. So how do the fight play out? Well, kind of ass. The extra zoom is kind of disorientating, as I attempt and fail miserably to correct the camera. So I eventually just start awkwardly flailing around and hope I hit her. Though this still isn't straightforward either, as hitting her enough times will cause her to fall over and, after a short delay, explode. You know, as spiders do. So since I can't see this coming, I get in the habit of dodging away anytime the spider slouches. And after a few tries, the halberd does its job. I ring the bell, get a little too cocky and fall off an elevator, upgrade my flame, and buy Laurentius' stock of spells, and I think I'm ready for sins. And this place sucks. Not because it's particularly hard or anything, but because it keeps me constantly paranoid. I haven't really talked about it up to this point because it hasn't been a big deal, but I tend to tilt the camera slightly forward as I find it easier on my depth perception. I assume it's the same for you, but maybe I'm just weird. This makes timing the massive axes and boulders just a pain in the ass that just serves to raise my already elevated blood pressure. Yeah, getting old sucks. Other than that, the only other things of note are I pick up the flame ring, free Logan, and pick up the gold serpent ring just in case I need to grind in the future. With one last detour, it's time for Iron Golem, and he's easy. I just get up close and personal with his kneecaps and send him the way of Nito. Dead. That's the joke. Anyways, moving on to Honor Orlando, and God is it still gorgeous. Even after over a decade of playing, I still love it. It just brings back such good memories of my brother and I sitting on the couch and learning the game together and being blown away by this play, seeing it for the first time. Way to ruin the mood, dickhead. Alright, you're going down. Damn it. Well, after failing an embarrassingly amount of times to this fucker, I finally give him his comeuppance, and now it's Castle Crasher time. Now the area is filled with Silver Knights, the Black Knight's less burnt cousin, Mimics, and Solaire. What's up, bud? It also offers plenty of souls, and after pumping out a few more levels, I feel it's time for one of the hardest boss fights in the game, Ornstein's Mount. Well, unless I beat them first try. So, yeah. This brings up something I've been wanting to talk about for a bit now. The halberd is fucking ridiculous, which I kind of dig it. But, even at only +2, it's completely capable of annihilating pretty much the rest of the game with ease. So it makes complete sense why it's the go-to for speedrunners to blitz through the game. So, while I could just make this a victory lap at this point and rely on it for the rest of the run, and have a smooth ride to the finish, instead, let's make it a bit more fun by adding another rule. For the remainder of the run, I have to switch weapons for every boss. Should be easy, right? But first we need to grab the Lord Vessel, so we meet up with... Oh god, even the camera knows what we really came for. But with the Supple acquired and the halberd retired, I attempt Sieve, which might have misfired. Okay, that was terrible. Sorry. Now with the Abyss Ring in hand, I lull up my flame, head down to New Londo, work my way past the Moaning Myrtles, open up Lower New Londo, and drop in to pay the Four Kings a visit. And quickly realize I don't have near enough damage right now, so I'll be back. Instead, I warp back down to the Demon Ruins for the world's most worryingly named boss fight, Ceaseless Discharge, who gets extremely angry after I pick up some fashion for some reason. What? I'm not a lore nerd like Oscar. Huh? Ah, easy boss. Speaking of easy bosses, time for a tutorial boss retread. And yeah, that's about right. Next, I head up the stairs to unlock the shortcut. If only I could get around Karen. Before I head down, and it's time for Centipede Demon. Here's how it goes. Finally, after chipping away at him for far too long, he goes down, and I get the orange shard ring, letting me into Lost Islet. And there's nothing to do here again, so I run past everything. Again. And head straight to the bed of chaos with the broken stray sword. Hey, it counts. At least I get to enjoy a fun and well-designed boss fight. Yeah, trying to get the camera to line up for some of the jumps sucked. Not to mention I can't see any of its attacks coming. Yes, tree mummy, harder. But with a leap of faith, I make the bed dead and head to Quaylana next to pick up some needed pyro spells. Wait, where is she? Well, shit. Kinda wanted those for Four Kings. Seath's next, so I appropriately put up my dukes and head to the archives where I die to some more boars and meth heads. Fun times. Most of the area really isn't that bad though. In fact, even the invisible bridges in the Crystal Cave are easy to navigate thanks to the messages. So that's neat. Seath is also pretty straightforward. I just stay right up in there and continue to tenderize his meat. And then just dodge and weave, floating like a butterfly and making him sting when he pees. There's not a lot of danger either, since I have plenty of humanity to spare. Yeah, take it right there, you scaleless freak. But with the souls that I obtain, I'm able to max out the flame, pledge myself to the fair lady picking up some much needed spells, and attempt the Four Kings once again. And damn it. Yep, still not enough. Alright, moving right along to the next boss. And he's pretty neato.
Boo, you stink!
I decided to use the war pick for him, only because I've actually never used it before. It seems decent, but just because I wanted to make things more fun, or because I'm fucking stupid, I decided to be stubborn and was not going to use the Divine Path to take out the Skellies for good. And I got my shit rolled in for it, with the camera zooming in to watch me die for good measure. Luckily, my next attempt goes much better, as I run away to keep the Skellies behind Nito, or tank through his not-so-friendly fire attack so I can get some breathing room and slowly whittle him down. Thanks, bud. Time for some cleanup.
Why are you like this?
Ooh, what's this? Now, the only thing of note in the Painted Worlds is that I pick up Fire Surge for reasons, before I head to my favorite lore-related boss, Priscilla. Why is she my favorite? Well, there are several theories as to Priscilla's origin. One is that Seath and Velka made her to start a war with the gods. And that's why a child counts as a throwable weapon. Wait, what were we talking about? Anyways, I take on Priscilla because she can potentially give me 2 more weapons to work with, her dagger and the life hunt scythe. Unfortunately, despite its cutting power, the Uchigi katana is a bit too effective. Since I don't have any way of moving the camera to make sure I'm hitting her tail, I fail miserably and kill her without cutting off her tail and miss out on the dagger. And so, I whipped myself in failure and made my way to the Dark Moon Tomb next for Gwendolyn. Well, I would, but I forgot to grab the Dark Moon ring from the catacombs when I visited Pinwheel earlier. Professional idiot, everybody. So after a quick detour to pick it up, I'm back and ready to whip our girl boy Gwendolyn.
Thou shalt not go unpunished.
That's not gonna create any weird fan art. So the fight goes, well, yeah. I think everyone can agree that these kind of boss designs where they spam spells and run away are fucking annoying no matter what FromSoft game it is. Even at plus 10, the whip makes me feel less like a champ and more like a chump. But with enough persistence and some time to waste, I slowly whittle him down the hallway to obtain her soul. Thank God I bit the bullet now and didn't wait to use this later. That would have been a nightmare.
Curse upon thee.
Well, not much else to do in the base game. I do attempt the Four Kings again, and here's the thing. That math not be mathin'. Even with the extra spells I picked up, I'm still not doing anywhere near enough damage. I still need to grab a few things. So instead, it's DLC time. And first, I have a date with a 7-headed lady. Yeah, apparently the Hydra is a chick, as the male version for it is Hydros. Don't ask what rabbit hole I jumped down to find out that one. So this may sound really weird, but the Hydra was actually kind of a pain in the ass to deal with. First off, I can't see the water's edge too well due to it being covered by water, making this super sketchy guessing game for if I'm about to fall off or not. To try and work around this, I stick to just the water's edge, baiting out the heads, and take them out without going too far in the water. But unfortunately, the old girl likes to back it up, which eventually leads to me going further into the water for the few remaining heads. Sure hope I don't fall off. Fuck. The second problem is even when the Hydra heads do get in range, I can't pan around quick enough to catch them, so a lot of the time I can't even take a swing at them before I'm getting hit by a lifetime supply of water. This constant back and forth tug of war is made even more annoying by the camera going ballistic every time I get hit. But after a few too many attempts, despite being extremely paranoid of how close to the edge I am, I finally finish her haircut. Beautiful. Speaking of which, hi Dusk, I need your crown. With this, I increased my magic damage by 20%, and combined with the bellowing dragon crest ring and slew of spells that I got from Griggs, we're dealing some serious damage now. Still can't aim them, the homing soul mask does this thing. Well, no slowing down now. Oh god! Surprisingly, Sanctuary Guardian goes down after a few tries, after I finally decided to take my purse off and actually use some big boy spells. Now for Artorias, I wanted to fight him with something truly worthy. Something I'd never used before. Something edgy. Yeah, that'll do. And now it's time for Artorias, who has a big sword and loves to move around. Not exactly the kind of thing I want to hear her face when I can't keep an eye on her. Well, maybe it's not so bad though. I could just poise my way through it, right? Hey, no. Shit. Well, looks like it's time to get good. Wanna watch? Although I had just beaten the fan favorite of the DLC, let's be honest, Artorias is tough, but when it comes to the biggest and baddest in this game, there's really only one contender. So I wanted to bring the big guns. Wait bro, why is your palm hairy? Okay, so first things first, Manus doesn't give a damn about poise, so that plan's out. Maybe if I can light roll, things will go better. So I quickly head back to Darkroot Basin and give old Havel a taste of his own medicine, who drops the Havel ring. Unfortunately, even with the increased equip load, the most I can afford with this setup is pants. But it's still better than the jury string I've been sporting. Well, maybe. Anyways, I return to Manny's for another go around, which goes a bit better this time. But no, still don't got it. Since I can't turn the camera to track what attack he's using, he inevitably always catches me with his multi-hit combo slam or his dark spells or some other BS that I can't see coming. So, after getting my ass handed to me over and over again for the next few hours, and more than a few swear words, I decide it's time for a break and switch targets. Clearly the Dragon King Great Axe ain't it for Manny, but maybe it'll do for an actual dragon. So, I get melted by Calamite, ask for Go's help, because despite me having eyes and he doesn't, I'm still the noob somehow? Calamite was, well, Calamite. He breathes fire and swipes his claws a bit, and I get smashed a lot. And while the camera screws me a time or two, I just stay underneath him. How much more excited can I make this sound? Well look, he dead, and it only took 3 tries. Now I can finally switch weapons from Annie. I have a plan. It's cheesing time. So, I pay the Everlasting Dragon a visit, Ash Lake, and got off his tail for the Dragon Greatsword, grab Power Within from Blighttown for its damage boost, and pick up the Silver Pendant in Ulasil to counter his dark spells. And with my plan put together, I head back down the Ulasil dungeons and use Power Within before I drop back in on Manny and the hardest fight of the run. I think a montage is in order, so cheers. See? Easy. With Manus down and the DLC finally complete, I think I might just have enough firepower to finally take down the 4 kings. So after running past everything, because who am I kidding? It's easier, I drop in and well, I may have forgot 3. Whoops. So after running past everything again, I successfully land in the abyss, and it's time to light it up. Oh yeah, that'll work. Between stacking Duskground, the billowing Dragon Crest Ring, and Power Within, along with my assortment of pyromancies, I easily melt the 4 kings down to only 3 this time. Crispy. Just the way I like it. And with the last Lord Soul acquired, I'm finally able to access the final area for the final boss of the whole game. Time to bully an old man, I guess. Hey there, it's Cody from the Edit here. While I'm mercilessly beating an old man like it's an episode of SpongeBob or something, I just wanted to remind you that you can watch other ridiculous challenges like this on my channel link here. I love playing video games in the dumbest ways possible I can figure out, and if you enjoyed this video, I'd also suggest you subscribe to me here. There will also be a Dark Souls 2 and 3 video coming out at some point, so if you enjoy this, that's probably up your alley too. Now, where were we? All right, bullying an old man. And that's it. I start the fireworks in the most literal way possible. The cutscene plays out, and I have beaten Dark Souls 1 without moving the camera ever. Kind of.